If your cat walks on you at night, do you actually know what they're trying to say? It may seem random, annoying, or just part of their nighttime routine. But behind that behavior, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the clearest messages your cat can send when the house goes quiet.
Aren't you just the cutest little thing? Who's a good kitty?
That moment in the first place. One, they're checking if you're still alive. Why does your cat always seem to step right?
On your chest, your throat, or your face? Of all the places to walk, why there? Because those are the exact spots where you're breathing.
Is most obvious. Your cat isn't just wandering around aimlessly. They're running a survival check on you. In the wild, sleeping next to another animal.
That stops moving is a serious threat. So when your cat steps on your chest and feels it rise, or walks near your face and catches the warmth of your breath,
They're confirming one thing: you're still here. And there's a reason they do this at night and almost never during the day. When the house goes dark, they lose the
visual cues they normally rely on. You're not moving around, you're not talking, you're not reacting to anything. To them, you've basically gone offline, so they come.
to check. But here's the part that might surprise you. There's a much deeper reason your cat keeps choosing you as their landing spot at 3 a.m. And it goes
all the way back to when they were a kitten. I'll get to that one last because honestly, it changes the way you see every single nighttime visit. 2, they're secretly
marking you as theirs. Ever wonder why your cat doesn't just sit next to you at night? Why do they have to physically walk across your body?
like you're some kind of sidewalk? Here's what's actually happening. Your cat has scent glands in their paw pads. Every single step.
They take on your skin, your clothes, your blanket. They're leaving behind a chemical signature that's invisible to you but screams ownership to any other animal.
In the house. And this isn't random affection, this is biology doing its thing. Think of it like this. During the day, you shower, you
go outside, you touch other things, other people, maybe even other animals. By the time you get into bed, your cat's scent from the
Night before has basically been erased. So every night they reset it. They walk across you, press their paws into you, and essentially say,
"This one's mine," all over again. Researchers at the University of Lincoln found that cats who live in multi-pet households do this significantly.
more than single pet cats, because when there's competition, marking becomes urgent. So next time your cat paces across your chest at 2 a.m.,
Just know they're not being annoying, they're renewing the lease. And hey, if your cat just earned a little more respect for tonight, hit like and subscribe so we
Can reach more owners who have no idea what their cat is doing for them in the dark. 3. They heard something you completely missed. Have you ever been dead asleep and suddenly your cat just stands up on your chest out of nowhere? No warning, no build-up, just paws on.
you and wide eyes staring at the door like something's about to walk in. That's not paranoia, that's your cat reacting to something real. Cats can.
Hear frequencies up to 64,000 hertz. Humans tap out at around 20,000. That means your cat is picking up on sounds that literally don't exist in your world. A pipe shifting behind the wall, a raccoon stepping through the yard 2 rooms away, the fridge compressor clicking on in the kitchen.
You slept through all of it, your cat didn't. And here's what makes this interesting. When they hear something, they don't just freeze and listen.
They go to the safest elevated surface in the room, and at night, that surface is you. You're the highest, warmest, most familiar thing
Around. So when something catches their ear, their instinct isn't to run and hide. It's to climb on top of you and assess the situation from there.
A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that cats can distinguish between familiar and unfamiliar sounds.
even while in a resting state. They're never fully off.
Brain is still scanning. 4. Your body is their personal heater. Why does your cat always end up on the warmest part of your body?
Not next to you, not near you, directly on top of you, in the exact spot where the most heat is coming off.
This one's pure biology. A cat's resting body temperature sits between 38 and 39 degrees Celsius, which is a couple of degrees higher
Than yours. That means they burn through body heat faster, especially at night when the house cools down and there's no sunlight to soak up.
So they go looking for the next best thing, and that next best thing is you. But here's what most people don't realize. They're not just plopping down anywhere, they're actually scanning for the hot spot. That's why you'll feel them walk slowly across your legs, pause on your stomach, shift to your
chest, and then finally settle. That whole routine that feels random, it's a thermal map. They're stepping across different zones of your body, comparing
Temperatures through the pads of their paws until they land on the warmest spot. And this is also why cats tend to favor your chest or your lap over your legs.
Or feet. Your core generates the most heat, and your cat figured that out a long time ago.
In winter, not because your cat suddenly loves you more in December, but because the temperature gap between the house and their body gets bigger and
You become even more valuable as a heat source. 5, they're trying to get you up on purpose. Ever notice how sometimes your cat doesn't just walk on?
You and settle down. They walk on you, then sit on your face. They purr directly into your ear, then bat at your hand until you physically cannot ignore them anymore.
That's not affection, that's a campaign. Cats are crepuscular, which means their bodies are wired to be most active at dawn and dusk.
So while you're deep in your best sleep around 5 a.m., your cat is entering their biological prime time. They're alert, they're energized, and they've got
An agenda. And that agenda usually falls into one of two categories. The first one is food. Cats have incredibly accurate internal clocks.
If you feed them around the same time every morning, they don't need an alarm. Their body tells them when breakfast is.
Just to make sure you don't forget, a study from the University of Zurich found that cats can anticipate feeding times with shocking accuracy.
Sometimes down to a 15-minute window.
That's planning. The second one is boredom. If your cat hasn't burned off enough energy during the day, all that leftover fuel kicks in right around the time you're trying to rest. So they do what any smart, understimulated animal would do. They go bother the one creature in the house that can fix the problem. And here's the thing most people get wrong. If you get up and feed them or play with them every time they do this, you're not solving the problem, you're teaching them to find better ways to get attention. And
Once that connection clicks, good luck unclicking it. 6, they're needing because you feel like mom. Remember in the
Beginning, when I said there's a deeper reason your cat keeps choosing you as their landing spot at 3 a.m., something that goes all the way back to when they were a kitten, this is that moment. If your cat walks on you and then starts doing that slow, rhythmic push with their paws, pressing in and out like they're working,
dough, that behavior has a name. Cat owners call it making biscuits. But what it actually is might be the most
does around you. When kittens are born, they knead against their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. It's one of the very first things they ever learn to do.
That behavior doesn't go away. It stays with them their entire life. So when your adult cat climbs on top of you in the middle of the night and starts kneading
your chest or your stomach, their brain is replaying the closest thing they have to a childhood memory. And the reason they're doing it
on you is because in that moment, your warmth, your breathing, your heartbeat, it all feels like the safest place they've ever known.
You feel like mom.